question in a short time, because this is one of my favorite topics in history. I love pre-Columbian Mexico and the Americas. I am from Mexico, and I'm actually from Puebla, which is the state where Cholula is, and I guess the great Cholula people lived. So it is not a hot sauce. It is a historical place and very important one, in fact. So the question one is, describe the Aztec society before the Spanish arrived. Well, the Aztec was a group of people that lived in central Mexico, what now is central Mexico. They were an empire, okay? They dominated other smaller villages, towns, or different ethnic groups. So they asked these ethnic groups for, let's say, tribute, right? So they were asked for taxes in forms of maybe contributions in the form of things that they grew, even maybe people or slaves or such. So the Aztecs were the dominating people in central Mexico when the Spanish arrived, and before the Spanish arrived, of course. So the kingdom's central city was Tenochtitlan, okay, Tenochtitlan, and that was in what is now Mexico City. So when the Spanish arrived, they destroyed everything that they could and put the capital in the place of the Aztec capital. But they covered palaces and pyramids and plazas with their new Spanish construction, right? With European style construction, churches, etc. So the Aztecs were a very important people in central Mexico. They were a kingdom, very powerful, very driven by war and power. Their emperor was in their capital, Tenochtitlan, which is now Mexico City. And they had all these other peoples and ethnic groups submitted to their power. So they were very important indeed. Now, what number 2 says, describe the significance, of the pilgrimage capital of Cholula. So Cholula is about 50 kilometers away from Mexico City now. So let's say it was about maybe 80 kilometers away from the capital of the Aztecs. So Cholula is a separate town, a separate area with a big pyramid, big meaning it was built upon what it already had every time there was a new ruler in Cholula, okay? So they built a pyramid on top of pyramid. So in the end, it had a very large base and a town surrounding it. The importance of Cholula was commercial, and they talk about a market full of every variety of food, every variety of exotic animal, birds, and maybe live and dead jaguars, and all these kinds of animals that lived at that time there. And again, this is pre-Columbian, pre-Hispanish, pre-Spanish, pre-conquest Mexico. So Cholula is a town where a lot of different people from different areas, dominated by the Aztecs, would gather and buy and sell slaves, spices, food, clothing, etc. So that's the best I can do to answer this question. Thank you so much.